Hello, I am Nick the Tool, and today we're talking about sockets. So I thought it'd be quite interesting to tell you a little bit about the snap-on sockets that we sell, because everybody manufactures sockets, so why should you spend your money on snap-on sockets? So let's go back to the basics and tell you what they're all about. So if I pick a standard 1/2" drive socket like this one here, the first thing you will notice when you look at snap-on sockets is the steel they are made of is completely different. So most sockets are made out of a recycled steel. These are made out of first grade high carbon alloy steel. So that is a virgin steel. It's got no recycled bits of car in it or old ships or anything. It is virgin steel. It's got a high level of carbon, which means it's very, very hard. So it holds its shape very, very well. Now these sockets are manufactured out of a billet of steel, and they're dropped into a machine which literally clamps them, and the socket drops out at the bottom. Then they're trimmed up with a bit of machining to make them precision, and every single snap-on socket that you buy, if you go across them with a micrometer, you'll find out that the wall thickness is the same on the correct size, and also the sizing is the same. If you look at our competitor sockets and you put a load of sockets together, you'll notice that the tolerance that the sockets are made to is very, very different between different manufacturers. But with Snap-on, you are buying a precision socket. Okay, let's have a look at the drive inside here then. So these all feature flank drive. So the flank drive system is a patented system to Snap-on, and this means the corners are taken out of the socket, and what that means is the biting point falls back slightly onto the flat, and this will give you 15 to 20% more turning power than the competitor sockets, but also it will enable you to have a very thin wall design. So these have got a concentric thin wall all the way around. So again, look at the cheaper sockets and you'll notice that the wall thickness changes around the socket, so they tend to cam up against stuff. So like battery terminals, they might not be the same size all the way around, so they don't tend to undo. You're not going to have that problem with a snap-on socket. If you look at the edge at the top, they've got a leaded edge cut into them. That's so it's much easier for you to locate these sockets onto the fastener you're trying to undo. So if you're up the back of an engine bay somewhere and you drop the socket up the back, it will soon locate with ease. If we drop down to the other end, which is the end you're going to drive it with, obviously our sockets are made in anything from quarter right up to inch drive. These are a precision square, which is designed to match up with precision with the snap-on square drive stuff. So if it's a ratchet or an extension that you're using, you'll find that the friction ball will locate perfectly and the sockets won't drop off even if you give them a shake. Now the indentations inside here I mentioned are matched up with the friction ball, but they are also on all four sides. So whichever way you put the bar in or the ratchet in, they will locate every time. There's also a leading edge, so again, fast location, so you can work a lot faster. If you look on the side of the socket, they're clearly marked with the part numbers, but also they have this knurled marking effect. And this knurled marking is to let you know that this is a metric socket. So at a glance you can tell it's a metric socket because of those knurled markings. If it was an imperial or AF socket, it would have a groove cut in it. So at a glance you can distinguish between your sockets with ease. Then these are finished in a nickel chrome plating, which is giving you a very high luster finish, so it will be very easy to keep clean and hold its luster really nice, so you've got a quality socket that will last you a long time. Now these are available in all different styles, so why should you buy impact sockets when we make a full range of chrome sockets? What's the difference? So we get asked this a lot, not many people know, so just for the people who aren't quite sure, I'll let you know. So these are made to be extremely hard, so you get very little distortion in the shape when you put in it under load. If you look at an impact socket, you'll notice that the wall thickness is almost twice as thick. It still carries the flank drive feature of the corners cut out to give you that extra turning power, but you'll notice the wall thickness is dramatically thicker. Now these are actually manufactured out of a softer steel process, so they're still first grade high carbon alloy steel, but these are a little bit softer. So when you use them on the gun, some of the impact of the gun will be absorbed in the socket. Now if you put a chrome socket on an impact gun, if you've been unlucky enough to explode one of these, they will go with a bang and they will shoot bits everywhere. I've had customers who've had bits go into their face. You do need to be very, very careful. Also, if this socket were to split, the chrome edge would be extremely sharp and could quite easily scoop the palm of your hand out. So you don't want to be using your chrome sockets or on your impact tools. Also, if you use chrome sockets on some of the cordless power stuff, then the vibration of the gun hammers trying to undo a fastener is actually going back into the gun and can cause some short life problems with your cordless power. So things like motor problems or cables becoming unsoldered inside the guns because you're just vibrating the living daylights out of them. So if you use an impact socket, it's less likely to break, it's more likely to withstand the impact that you're putting through it, and it's going to protect your power tools because it's not going to send those vibrations back into the gun. So brilliant product, but make sure you're using exactly the right socket for the right application. Now, something you may not know, a little bit of a history lesson. When Snap-on designed the detachable sockets, which is obviously where Snap-on came from back in 1920, they called the 1/2-inch drive standard, and it was its standard set. So anything 1/2-inch drive in the Snap-on range starts with an S in the part number for standard. So if you're looking for part numbers, it can be quite useful. If you're looking in the catalogue, if it starts with an S, you know it's 1/2-inch drive. The next size that they brought out was 3/8 drive, and they called it ferret drive for ferreting into some of those tight spaces. So ferret drive starts with an F. Anything that starts with an F is 3/8 drive. And then they brought out tiny drive for the little really small stuff, so that's your quarter drive. Anything quarter drive has got a T in the part number. So Snap-on part numbers are actually made up very simply around the design and the manufacture of the product. So it's very easy to work out part numbers. Little bit of Snap-on science for you there on how the part numbers are done. Now, I hope you're enjoying the videos. I appreciate all of you who have subscribed to the channel. I'm going to do a bit of a challenge for myself. So for the next 10 nights, I'm going to do a new video each night. So this is video 1 of 10 videos. So please tell all your friends, get on the site. Best place to look is YouTube. Just search Nick the Tool and a product description, and if I've done a video, there's now over 250, that video will pop up for you straight away. So for instance, Nick the Tool multimeter, Nick the Tool power ratchet, you'll find it straight away. So I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Please like if you do like them, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.